So if you are, somebody that watches one rental at a time, it's really tough to get positive yield, positive carry today. Pad split, rent by the room is obviously a way to increase income. Is it simply bedroom bathroom counts is what you're doing, or do you get really aggressive and, hey, we're going to go put in bunk beds and really get after this thing and get multiple adults in one room and all of that? Or do you kind of tap out at, one per room, or any suggestions there?
Yeah. Yeah. So today it's one per room. Um, that could change in the future, particularly in certain submarkets where conditions are more desperate. Um, and we may at some point in the future just leave that up to the hosts as well to determine, hey, I want to allow multiple people
Mm,
per room. For us, the we don't allow more than four individuals per bathroom.
okay.
And so that would be certainly one limiting factor. Today, that means four bedrooms per one bathroom.
Mm,
It's always recommended to have fewer. And as you might expect, private bathrooms typically have longer tenures, they're higher demand.
absolutely.
And so more bathrooms is always better.
Yeah. So we're not counting, living rooms, and we're not trying to shove as many living human beings, into a house.
Correct.
There are rules and guidelines, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and like, listen, solving the affordable housing shortage is pretty straightforward. You need more supply, you need
Yeah.
more housing supply, and then you need to enable access to that supply. And so we address both of those problems. But as we are looking at the supply problem, well, guess what? We have more residential square footage today than in the US than we have at any point in history. So it's not that the supply doesn't exist. It's not that you have to build more. It's that the homes are that we have now are just much bigger than they were 50 years ago.
Correct.
And how do we get smarter about converting some of those really large houses? And so in some cases, it does mean, well, look, I've got a living room, a den, and a family room, and a home office all in the same house. Okay,
Right.
well, at a point in time when you've got people living on the streets that are working full time, sometimes two jobs, that's just wasteful, and it also creates an opportunity to leverage that space as a housing opportunity for many of those individuals and to provide better employment savings and ultimately both economic environmental impact within those communities. And so why wouldn't you do that when you can create a new unit of housing supply for a couple $100 or a couple $1,000
Yeah.
versus building new at 200 to 500 grand. So that's the motivator. But yeah, there's absolutely limitation on what that is. What we tell hosts is think about moving in your sister, your mother, your daughter, your grandma, or your mother-in-law. I don't want to make any
Yeah.
judgments about how people feel about their mothers-in-law, but yeah, I mean, think about it from a customer experience perspective, and there's a big difference, right? Don't just look at the numbers on the spreadsheet and think, oh, that extra bedroom really looks attractive to my return. Think about it in terms of what is the best customer experience and how do I continue to attract high quality residents and encourage them to stay for a long period of time.